All right, welcome back. We are moving on and finding the distance of segments. The instructions say to plot the endpoints and draw the line segment from below, then determine the distance of each line segment by the distance formula, then by the Pythagorean theorem. You have the distance formula and the Pythagorean theorem in your definitions notes, so why don't you take those out and on the side here, write the distance formula, and I'll do it with you. D is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And actually, we don't even need to plot the points, but we will for the distance formula. Negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Label it A. B is positive 3, 1, 2, 3, positive 2. B. I'm going to have my straight edge so I can make a nice clean line segment here. And then I'm going to figure out the distance using the distance formula. So D is equal to, I'm going to put the formula, boom, that minus that squared plus y minus y squared. So I'm going to go x minus x. So 3 minus a negative 4. And then 2 minus 4. And then my next line, I'm going to simplify this. 3 minus a negative 4. Two negatives become a plus, so that would be 3 plus 4, which is 7 squared. Plus 2 minus 4 would be negative 2 squared. Then D is equal to 7 squared is 49, plus a negative 2 squared is 4. And then we get D is equal to the square root of 53. And then when I do the square root of 53 on my calculator, the D, or the distance, is equal to 7.28. Okay? Now, the way that we're going to, so that is the distance. It's 7.28 units from A to B. Now, that is a little bit longer way. Now we're going to do the Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean theorem, you need a right triangle. So I'm going to make my slope triangle that we did in the first semester. And I notice that I have 2 units there and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units there. So Pythagorean theorem says a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. 2 squared is 4. 7 squared is 49 is equal to c squared. 4 plus 49 is 53 is equal to c squared. And then what we're going to do is we're going to square root both sides, because the square root of something squared is just itself. And then we have to square root that side. And the square root of 53 is 7.28, as we found in the first one. So our distance, no matter whether you do it the distance formula, you get 7.28, or whether you do it the Pythagorean theorem formula, you get 28. One thing that I do want to attract your attention to is our first line in the Pythagorean theorem takes us there. And we don't get confused or tripped up with any of the adding 2 negatives or subtracting negatives. It's just 2 squared plus 7 squared. Right, and then we could jump into the bottom steps. So the Pythagorean theorem, in my opinion, is the easier one. But if you want to do the distance formula, you can do that as well. As we do the second example, we're going to plot the points. 2, negative 5. So let's go pick some different colors. Positive 2, 1, 2, negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be my C. And D is 8, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 0. And D. And again, I'm going to put my straight edge out here. Ooh. And the distance formula. So D is equal to the square roots of my x minus x squared plus my y minus y squared. X minus x, so let's go 8 minus 2. And then we'll go 0 minus a negative 5. And then my distance is equal to 8 minus, I got to redo my square root. And then 8 minus 2 is 6 squared. Plus 0 minus a negative 5 is 5 squared. And then we go d is equal to the square root of 36 plus 25. D is equal to the square root of 36 and 25 would be 30 and 20 is 50, and 11 would be 61. And when you use your calculator, you learn that the square root of 61 is equal to 7.81. So as I look back at my image up here, I'm going to draw my slope triangle, and I'm going to come down here. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units, and then over 6 units. So again, right here, the 6 and the 5 come in handy. So we would go 6 squared plus 5 squared is equal to c squared. 6 squared is 36 plus 5 squared is 25 is equal to c squared. And then 36 plus 25 is 61 is equal to c squared. I'm going to square root my c squared. Cancel those out. You get c is equal to square root 61, and you get 7.81. So again, 2 different ways to find the distance. What I would like you to do is to finish off line segment EF and then work on the word problem down here and try and figure that one out. Bring them into class tomorrow and we will talk about them. Good luck.